And that's sliced to left field, and it's another chance for Mitchell, and he makes a barehanded catch!
In my entire life, I've never seen that happen.
Again, it's Corey with DNC Ball Cards. Today I'm going to be busting open a box of 1988 Donruss. A rather infamous set. This is a 660 card set. This box has 36 wax packs, 15 cards per pack, so a total of 540 cards in this box. The packs also include one puzzle piece. This year the set features Stan Musial as the puzzle. The design pattern of the border for the factory sets is actually different from the packs, the cards that you pull out of the pack. So you could easily tell the difference between a card pulled from a pack versus a factory set. A couple of subsets in this set include the Diamond King subset, which Donruss is known for, along with the Rated Rookie subset. The 1988 Donruss marked the end of the golden age of Donruss. The production was dramatically increased, and the long-run value of this set has been severely depressed because of that mass production. I reached out to @CardboardLifer on Twitter for some of his knowledge, and he said this is the junkiest, probably the junkiest of all junk wax. So there is certainly no scarcity at all with 1988 Donruss. You could get a complete set probably for $5, honestly, at a card show or something of that nature. This Donruss actually, this was the first year that they released cello packs. Obviously this is a wax packs box, but they did release cellos in this particular year. They also released rack packs, which @CardboardLifer said they actually had 3-slot and 4-slot rack packs. So that's kind of cool. The key rookie cards in this set, we do have a couple of Hall of Fame rookie cards. The key rookie cards, or at least notable rookie cards, would include Roberto Alomar, Hall of Famer, Tom Glavine, Hall of Famer, and then also Jay Buhner, Ellis Burks, Ken Caminiti, Mark Grace, and Matt Williams. And then Greg Jeffries was kind of a hot rookie back in this time as well. And there's a handful of cards that I wouldn't mind pulling out of this box. Several of the Diamond King subsets, including Mark McGwire, Andre Dawson, and Cal Ripken Jr. We obviously want the Roberto Alomar and Tom Glavine rookie, Nolan Ryan, Cal Ripken Jr., Bo Jackson, Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, Greg Maddux, and then there's a cool Ripken baseball family card, which includes, I believe it includes Cal Sr. and Billy Ripken. So quite a few cards here that would be fun to pull, even though there's really absolutely not much value at all in this box, but it's still rather nostalgic to open up these cards from 1988. Over 30 years, 30-year-old box here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pull these packs out, and we'll get started. This box, if I remember correctly, I think I got this box on eBay. It was around $10. If you're paying more than $10 for this box, probably paying a little too much. Honestly, $10 is probably too much for this box, but again, I think we'll have some. For me, it'll be a little fun here. Rather distinct red wrappers. So this is the 1988 Donruss pack. Again, there is 15 cards, along with a puzzle piece card, and there is no gum in the Donruss packs. They were, I think they switched over to the puzzle pieces at some point in the early 80s. And there's also, they do have, I guess you would consider it insert, the MVP bonus cards. So I'm not sure if we'll get lucky enough to get those. I'm not sure what the ratio or the insert rate is on those, but maybe we'll get lucky. Let me go ahead and open these up. Looks like we got a Hall of Famer right off the bat there. So there's our puzzle piece. That's kind of cool. I'm hoping I get enough of those to actually do the puzzle. That would be cool. I did get enough for the 87 Donruss puzzle. I think that was Roberto Clemente, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I do have enough puzzle pieces that I'm going to be putting that together. Mark Williamson, Alan Ashby, Jerry Royster, Greg Lefferts, Kurt McCaskill, Fred Lynn, Chris Bosio, Jose Mesa, Hubie Brooks, Bryn Smith, Rick Sutcliffe, Darren Miller, Bill Schroeder, and there was that Hall of Famer I was talking about, Tony Gwynn. Not that it really matters. You can tell that card's a little off center, so I'm sure that's going to be a common problem with some of these Donruss cards, just like with a lot of cards from this era and prior. Ken Gerhardt, Doug Drabeck, Harold Reynolds, Ricky Horton, Todd Benzinger, checklist from the Diamond Kings, Lonnie Smith, Ernie Witt, Billy Hatcher, Rick Rhoden, Jack McDowell, that's a rated rookie. I didn't have him in my notable rookies, probably should have. I remember Jack McDowell from back in the day. Kevin Elster, rated rookie. Jim Gantner, Scott Geraltz, and Gene Larkin. Not much going on with those packs. Floyd Humans, checklist card. Bill Wegman, Pat Perry, Angel Salazar, Eric Davis, Eric the Red. Looks so thin. His waist is very thin there, but he had some power. 37 home runs there in 1987. Pretty fast. Had 80 steals in 1986, 50 in 1987. Very close to the 40-40 club there in 1987. 37 home runs, 50 steals. So Eric Davis was quite a player. Marvell Wynn, Mike Pagliarulo, Doug Jones. Doug Jones looks like a player from Major League, the movie, right there. He could have been cast in that movie. Dave Meads, Mike Kingery, Bob Brinley, future manager, I believe. Mackie Sasser, rated rookie. Mike Boddicker, and Matt Noakes. Kind of do like the backs of these cards. I enjoyed looking at the backs of cards. Topps obviously is more known for having the entire career of the player. I think Donruss was limited to the last 5 years or so of activity. Both of those have their own positives and negatives. This is a very easy to read back. Sometimes the Topps could get a little more difficult to read with players that have long careers where there's just not much room on the back of the card. Andres Thomas, Eric Plunk, their first Diamond Kings subset, Ron Darling with the New York Mets there. Bobby Bonilla, semi-star from the 80s and 90s. Mike Scioscia, Melito Perez, Bill Buckner, no longer with the Red Sox at this point. Dave Magadan, Deion Jones, Sean Abner, rated rookie, Ted Higuera. There's Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer, with a beard there. I don't remember Wade Boggs with a beard that much in his career, but he has one here. Wade Anthony Boggs. Andy Van Slyke, and this is one of those MVP cards that could be hard to, kind of like a lot of these cards today, the parallels can be kind of hard to catch, and I think that's that is, and you can see there's the BC8, which is the bonus card, I believe is what that stands for. Not really a big Andy Van Slyke fan, but that's still cool. Joe Hesketh and Gary Redus. So again, these cards were the first Donruss cards that were just massively produced. Again, it was kind of the end of the golden era for Donruss, and along with all the other manufacturers, they were just printing these in mass. Jack Howell, there's Hall of Famer Gary Carter, the Kid, the original Kid, Ken Oberkfell. There's our second Diamond King subset, Tommy John with the Yankees. He would have been pretty old at this point, yeah, 44-year-old man with a teenager's arm. Continues to amaze. That's kind of cool. Greg Walker, Wes Gardner, Bob Walk, Andy McGaffigan, Bobby Thigpen, Mike Krakow, Mark Thurmond, Steve Ontiveros, Ken Williams. I believe he would go on to become the general manager of the Chicago White Sox, and Keith Moreland. Steve Balboni, Scott Sanderson, Chuck Finley. Chuck Finley's second year, or it's his third year or second year of having a card, I'm assuming. Larry Sheets, Phil Bradley, Bob Forsch, Manny Hernandez, Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, coming off a really good season, I believe, here, 1987, 16 saves, so this is probably the beginning of his transition to the bullpen. Claudell Washington, Vaughn Hayes, Les Straker, Dave Leeper, Luis Polonia, Scott Terry, and Jeff Russell. You know, I can't really say much about this 88 Donruss design. I did like the 87 Donruss design, and I'm also a fan of the 89 Donruss design, but this one, I think this one probably falls short a little bit, for me, at least. And it's okay, I guess, but certainly nothing special. There's John Kruk, Jimmy Key, Wally Ritchie, Matt Young, Al Newman, Rob McClure. There is a third Diamond Kings card, I believe, Andy Van Slyke. So we got his bonus card MVP, and now his Diamond King subset card. Todd Worrell, the Wally Joyner card, John Morris, Thad Bosley, Mike Greenwell, Buddy Bell. There's another Diamond King insert, or subset, Julio Franco, and Terry McGriff. My last video, I opened 87 Fleer. Got 3 Julio Franco rookie cards that were valued as high as $15 a card as late as 1992. So I'm still waiting for someone to make an offer on those. Chris Spear, Tom Brookins, Rick Honeycutt, John Pawlowski, Rafael Palmeiro with the Cubs. He started his career with the Cubs before moving on to the bulk of his career was with Texas and the Orioles. May have played with the Indians for a season or so as well. Can't remember, but that's early in his career. Ken Howell, Steve Buechele, Walt Terrell, Wayne Tollison, Matt Williams. That is a Matt Williams rookie. Matt Williams, I think he flirted with 50 home runs. He may have had a 50 home run season back kind of during the steroid era. Obviously, he would go on to, I think he would manage the Nationals. If I'm thinking through that the right way. Greg Minton, Dave Schmidt, Glenn Braggs, Ray Knight, and Pascual Perez. Tom Browning, Jerry Don Gleaton, printing. There's a printing issue on that card. Not sure if that's unique to this card or all of his cards, but probably just that card. Lee Smith, recent Hall of Famer, all-time saves leader before he was surpassed by Hoffman, I believe, and then later by Mariano Rivera. There's the Greg Jeffries card that I mentioned earlier. He was a rather hot card to have back during this release. Alex Trevino, Kelly Gruber, Mike Scott, Storm Davis, Dan Pasqua, Mike Schmidt. So that's a cool card. Michael Jack Schmidt, member of the 500 home run club already at this point. Hit that mark in 1987, looks like. Lots of league leader indicators there. So Hall of Fame career: Steve Lombardarzi, Mark Davis, Jose Rijo, and Vince Coleman. Laying down the bunt. Super fast Vince Coleman. Kind of thought he might keep pace with Ricky Henderson. I mean, there you see 3 consecutive years of over 100 steals. He was a speedster for sure. Bob Sebra, Jimmy Jones, Brooke Jacoby, Frank White, Bob Stanley, Mariano Duncan, Andre Dawson. Oh, this is cool. This is another MVP card, and this is my all-time favorite player. So this is kind of cool, and this is him with the Cubs. Obviously, he signed with the Cubs in 1987. Actually, during the off season where there was a conspiracy, I guess you'd say, between the owners to keep salaries down, and so he did not get his fair market value on the open market, but signed with the Cubs and had an MVP season in 1987. So that is a cool card. I'm glad I got that. Gino Petralli, Mark Clear, Wally Backman, Dan Plesac, Kurt Wilkerson, Rob Deere, Ted Power, and Danny Jackson. So that is cool. The Andre Dawson card, that will definitely, he is definitely a player that he's my favorite player, so he's obviously a player that I personally collect. I do not have this card. Mentioned before, the first Donruss packs that I remember opening as a kid were 89 Donruss. So even though this 88 Donruss set was massively produced, at least for me, getting into cards around 1987, I just don't remember opening 88 Donruss. And so this is actually the first time I've ever opened 88 Donruss. Tim Cruz, Bill Dawley, Rance Mullenix, R.J. Reynolds, Dennis Martinez would go on to throw a perfect game later in his career. Checklist, Rafael Santana, Frank Williams, and Steve Farr. So not much going on in that pack. Juan Nieves, John Candelaria, Ernest Riles, Bob Brower. Dale Murphy. Of course, Dale Murphy was on the, didn't mention that, but I'm sure you noticed he was on the front of the actual, the box. So that is cool. Dale Murphy was a popular player growing up in the South. A lot of Braves fans. Ray Searage. Jeff Robinson. Keith Hughes. Tommy Henzo. Dave Valley. Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Played with the Red Sox and the White Sox. That may have been it for him. I'm not sure if he played, who else he may have played for, but those are the two teams that I remember him playing for. Jack Morris, another Hall of Famer. Back-to-back Hall of Famers there. Mike Brumley. And another Diamond Kings card, Dwight Evans. I did always love the Diamond King cards. I believe Donruss was the first one to have that type of card. I know Fleer would go on later to have their similar Fleer, I think Fleer Pro, or I think maybe that's what they were called. Upper Deck would have art cards as well. But I think Donruss, at least for me, I kind of consider Donruss the original with those Diamond King cards. Tim Flannery, Fred McGriff, Crime Dog, Steve Bedrosian, Mike Devereaux, another Andy Van Slyke. So we have his base card, his MVP card, and his Diamond Kings subset card. So probably got all the Andy Van Slyke we need. Mike Fitzgerald, Mark Langston, Diamond Kings, Steve Lake, Phil Bradley, Bob Forsch, John Davis. And there's Dennis Oil Can Boyd. Love the nickname. Dave Concepcion. And a Diamond Kings subset card of Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer. It's a cool card. So we're still looking at the two cards that I'd really love to get, just to add to my personal collection, would be the Glavine and Roberto Alomar rookies. So maybe we'll get one of those here. Ron Oster, Benito Santiago, Neil Allen, Andy Allenson, Larry Anderson. I believe I think he was part of the Jeff Bagwell deal, sent to the Red Sox in exchange for Jeff Bagwell, who would obviously go on to have a Hall of Fame career for the Astros. Ray Quinones, Kevin Mitchell, Gary Thurman, rated rookie, Lance Johnson, rated rookie. I remember Lance with the White Sox for many years. Will Clark MVP card. So these are not rare by any means, because we've gotten, I think, 3 now. But that's a Will Clark card, who I mentioned the 87 Fleer Julio Franco rookie was worth $15 back in 1992. The Will Clark card was actually still worth $25. That 87 Fleer Will Clark rookie was worth $25 back in 92, according to Beckett. And there's a Mark McGwire. This is card number 1 in the set. This was one of the Diamond King inserts that I was hoping to get, so that's cool. Bob Kipper, and Alejandro Pena. Still looking for those two rookies, Glavine and Roberto Alomar. Chris James, Kent Herbeck, Stan Jefferson, Jay Howell, Kurt Ford, Pete O'Brien. There's another MVP card, Tony Gwynn. So I think we had his base card and now the MVP card for Tony. Ken Schramm, Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. Bill Thompson, Scott Bales, Tim Belcher, Terry Pendleton, John Cerruti, and Sid Bream. The Pirates there. A few years later, he would go on to break the Pirates' hearts with a slide into home to send the Braves on to the World Series. Gerald Young, Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer with the Yankees here. We've got another Hall of Famer right behind him, which is one of our cards that we really wanted. Tom Glavine. And that looks fairly centered. It's a little off center. But I do not have that card, so I'm glad to get that. You can see that with his cup of coffee in '87, 5.54 ERA. Was certainly not representative of the Hall of Fame career he would go on to have. Greg Caderet, Juan Behringer, Glenn Wilson, Rich Gedman, George Hendrick, Lawrence Parrish with those great 70s, 80s glasses, Chet Lemon, Ed Whitson, Cecil Fielder, Tomato. Blue Jays here would go on to have a pretty good career with the Tigers. Rick Shue, Mickey Hatcher, and Al Newman. I was actually watching a YouTube video, found it on Twitter earlier today, with Tom Glavine after Del Murphy, who was actually again on the front of this 58 Donruss box. When he had moved on to the Phillies, there had been a couple of beanball incidents between the two teams. I think Otis Nixon, it involved Otis Nixon back when he was with the Braves, and he charged the mound. And so Tom Glavine was pitching for the Braves, and Bobby Cox ordered him to hit the next batter up, and it happened to be Del Murphy in his first season after he'd left the Braves. And Tom Glavine was really giving a half-hearted effort in beaning Del Murphy, Atlanta Brave favorite, and missed him all 4 times. But on that 4th one, it kind of became obvious he was trying to hit him, got ejected. It's kind of a cool video. You should check that out if you want. There's Paul Molitor, Sid Fernandez, Don August, Paul Kilgus, there's Ken Griffey Sr., Dwight Gooden. So this is cool. This is, I like getting Dwight Gooden cards, Darryl Strawberry cards. there's a lot of the guys back in this time period that were really. Jose Canseco is another example. They were superstars. They're not Hall of Famers, but back during this time, they were superstars. You go look at that. 4 seasons in, Gooden had a 2.46 ERA. 3 consecutive seasons to start his career with 200 plus strikeouts, leading the league in the first 2 of those. 16 complete games in 1985, 24-4. Dwight Gooden was unbelievable. Just had some off-field troubles. Mike Henneman, Bruce Ruffin, Jay Bell, Jerry Reed, and Floyd Bannister. We found Glavine. Still looking for Roberto Alomar. Still looking for some other cards such as Nolan Ryan and Cal Ripken. Nelson Liriano. I mean, that's a horrible picture. You can't even see his face. I mean, that card almost looks fake. That's just a bad card. Kurt Manwaring, Kirk Gibson. Obviously here with the Tigers. I guess he either got traded mid-season or certainly between the 87 and 88 season to the Dodgers, because he would go on to have that historic home run in the 88 World Series. Ozzie Virgil, Barry Lyons. There's a Cal Daniels, Diamond Kings insert card. Not insert, but subset. Al Padrique, Mike Marshall. There's Brett Saberhagen, Gary Lucas, Rick Aguilera, Glenn Hubbard. Another Diamond Kings, Tim Raines, Tim Rock Raines. Hall of Famer. There's a little bit of a controversy with Tim Rock Raines. I think he basically admitted to playing with cocaine in his back pocket sometimes and things of that nature. So. Another speedy guy like Vince Coleman and Ricky Henderson. He was good on the base paths. Wally Ritchie, Matt Young, Junior Ortiz, Geronimo Barroa. Always remember this name. That's a cool name, Geronimo Barroa. This would have been, this is his rookie card. No major league record, 1987. Geronimo Barroa. There's another Diamond King card. Billy Hatcher. Todd Worrell. Mike Morgan. And so there's another MVP card. Donruss MVP, Cal Ripken. So that's cool. He is the first bonus card, PC1. Dan Quisenberry, Mike Greenwell, Buddy Bell, Julio Franco, Diamond Kings card, Terry McGriff, Steve Balboni, and a fresh-faced Jamie Moyer, who will go on to have a very long career. Felix Fermin, late 80s mullet. That would have certainly been in style back then. Fred Manrique, Mike Aldretti, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer, Kurt Young, Ron Hassey. So, catcher. That is a move the runner along bunt, because Mike Hassey's not going to be beating that bunt out to first base by any means, judging by the size of him in this picture. Jerry Mumphrey, Scott Fletcher, Ken Dixon, Dave Smith, Ricky Henderson, so that's cool. The Yankees at this point would later go back to the A's, play with the Blue Jays for a while. I can't remember if that may be it. He may have played with another team, but Kelly Downs, Donnie Moore, and Mike Griffin. Still got plenty of packs to go to get our Alomar, maybe to get our Nolan Ryan. Still like to get a Jose Canseco, Rob McClure, Glenn Hubbard, Diamond Kings card, Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer. Never known for his power. He did have a critical home run. I think it was in the playoffs one year. But pretty fast, obviously. These would be very strong numbers in today's game as far as stealing goes. Mickey Brantley. Obviously, Ozzie Smith known more than anything for his glove. Dwight Evans, Rob Murphy. Nice. Don't have that. Don't think I have any Andre Dawson Diamond Kings cards. I'm not sure if he was in any other Donruss sets as the Diamond King, but glad I got that. That is cool. Paul O'Neill here with the Reds. Would obviously go on. He would win a World Series with the Reds in 1990. Would move on to the Yankees and be part of some of those mid-90s teams with the Yankees that would have lots of success. Chuck Finley, Mike Young, and Ken Howell. Juan Castillo, Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray had a great looking stance there. Almost looks just textbook. Obviously, he's a member of the 500 home run club, 3,000 hit club. No doubt, Hall of Famer. Paul Nosey, not sure. Mark McLemore, Mike Birkbeck, Shane Mack, Pedro Guerrero, Sean Dunston with his rifle arm, shortstop, Domingo Ramos, Mark Knudsen, Lenny Dykstra, Dale Svim. He would go on to manage as well. Charlie Huff, knuckleball extraordinaire. He would go on to have a very lengthy career due to his knuckleball. Knuckleballers can really saved their arm. Now that's, if you can see that, that is a, just, I guess that happened in the factory. It's just odd looking. Some of the cards actually kind of stayed out of the pack. It's sealed very weirdly. Let's see how this. Alright, so we got another MVP card here. Alvin Davis. Bonus card 25 there with the Mariners. Jeff Ballard. Bob Welch. Mark Eichhorn. Terry Leach. Dave Stewart. Yeah, he would have go on to have some good postseasons with the A's. Claudio Washington. Vaughn Hayes. Les Straker. Dave Leeper. Luis Polonia. Tony Pena. And there's the Stan Musial puzzle. Stan the Man. Stan Musial is one of the all-time greats. Eric Show. And Joe Carter. Mentioned Kirk Gibson's World Series home run earlier. Joe Carter would have the ultimate walk-off home run in the World Series. Off Mitch Williams, who we actually pulled earlier as well. Jose Nunez. Manny Hernandez. There's another Dennis Eckersley. Don Mattingly. So he's another one of those that I was talking about, superstars that, you know, you love to get these guys when you were a kid. Shane Raleigh, Roy Smalley, Goose Gossage, Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's pretty late into his career. Well, I shouldn't say late into his career. I can't remember when he was a rookie exactly, but he's got a career 2.88 ERA at this point, which is really outstanding. 1.82 ERA here. 5-3. Pitched out of the bullpen a lot. Obviously, Jose Canseco. So got that card as well. That is not the best Jose Canseco card, I will say that. That is not a very flattering, not that it's unflattering, it's just not a very good picture. Jose Canseco, could have had him hitting a home run or swinging or running or some kind of action card. Here we've got him with his helmet over his baseball cap, and it's just kind of an odd looking card. Scott Terry, Jeff Russell, Randy Reddy, Brooke Jacoby, Tom Nieto, Jeff Stone, and Corey Snyder. Now that's 12 packs left here. And we'll get our Alomar. Okay, Rafael Ramirez, Keith Hernandez, Ivan Calderon, Eric King, Greg Gross, Brett Butler, Scott Bradley, Ed Romero, Bill Madlock, Luis Quinones, Diamond Kings, Shane Raleigh. To be honest, I don't know much about Shane Raleigh. Renee Gonzalez, John Smiley, Mark Langston, and Jack Clark. Not much going on with that pack. Jeff Reardon. Now, those Twins pitchers like to grow beards. Reardon and Bedrosian. Tom Newell, they kind of look, I mean, honestly, you could confuse them for one another. Tom Newell, Dave Clark, Jose Gonzalez, Tommy Herr, Jim Clancy, Jeff Robinson, Randy St. Clair, checklist, Dave Stapleton, Dave Parker, Willie Wilson, John Franco, Randall Byers, and Joel Skinner. I think Dave Parker's numbers, I know I've mentioned this, if you've watched other videos, I think his numbers are worthy of the Hall of Fame. If you go look at those numbers and, you know, include him being part of the Pirates World Series team. You know, I think he might get in at some point through the Veterans Committee. We'll see. Franklin Stubbs, Greg Matthews, Dwayne Ward, John Cangelosi, Tom Foley, checklist, Mike Felder, Kurt Stillwell, Danny Jackson. And there's another Eric Davis. This is an MVP card. Cool. Chris Brown, all smiles. He is happy. Rick Cerrone, Pat Tabler, Jim DeShays, and Bill Wilkinson. All right, 9 packs to go. I could pick 2 more cards to get. I think I'd have to go with Roberto, Alomar, and Nolan Ryan. I'd also like to get that Ripken family card. And this is not a bad card to get. Roger Clemens. Would have been a surefire Hall of Famer without the PED questions. Kevin Seitzer, Dave Stieb, Greg Myers, Tim Stoddard, Jose Lind, rated rookie, Jeff Treadway, rated rookie, Brad Kamensk, Atlee Hamaker, Keith Atherton, Glenn Davis, Pat Clements, Damasco Garcia, and Mike Davis. So I have, this is the 88 Donruss, obviously. We will be moving on to 88 Fleer, and then 88 Score, and then we'll be doing 88 Tops as well. I have wax boxes of 88 Donruss, obviously, what we're opening here. I also have 88 wax boxes for the Score and Fleer, and there's a Mark Grace rated rookie. I do have that card that I obtained somewhere in my childhood through a trade as a Cubs fan. But for the 88 Tops, I don't yet have a wax box. I do have a vending box that will likely be going through instead. Mark McGwire. Looks like a cool batting jersey there. Big Mac. Glad I got that card. Jack Clark, Diamond King. That is not a very flattering rendition of him. Jim Gott, Dave Anderson, Jim Eisenreich, Gary Pettis, and Ron Darling. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that 88 Topps vending box. That'll be my first vending box to look at. We'll talk about that obviously when we open it. I did take a peek inside the vending box and didn't look at any cards, but just looked at the top to see if it looked like it had been disturbed or searched, and it does not look like it has been. It looks like it's fresh from the case. Mike Lacoste, Joy Myers, rated rookie. Al Leiter, rated rookie, who would go on to have some good seasons. Willie Hernandez, Dave Palmer, Gene Nelson, Scott Fletcher, Donruss Diamond Kings. I have to say, this the players featured in the Diamond Kings subset here this particular season are, say I wouldn't necessarily choose some of these players for that distinction. Mike Bilecki, John Shelby. Oh, Big Bo Jackson. I'm glad I got that card. That was definitely on my list. You look at the power, but I mean, you can just tell it's going to be a powerful swing. Loved Bo Jackson. Mike Witt, Hojo, Gerald Perry, Benito Santiago, Diamond King, and Steve Psycho Lyons. So we've got 6 packs left here. Frank Viola, Mike Schmidt MVP. So that's cool. Frank Viola, Minnesota pitcher, choosing to go only with the mustache, no full beard. So Sam Horn, Dick Schofield, Bobby Witt, Doyle Alexander. We talked about the Larry Anderson trader earlier. Doyle Alexander, known for being traded for John Smoltz, who would go on to have a Hall of Fame career. Lance McCullers, Tony Fernandez, Luis Aguayo, Fernando Valenzuela, the pitcher who they choose to show bunting here. You know, the one thing that I always do remember, which I do think is good coaching advice, is to put your fingers behind the bat. These fingers right here should not be on top of the barrel or right there, because you know, obviously the ball could strike that. You have your fingers kind of pinched behind the bat. But Brian Fisher, Andres Galarraga, Alan Trammell, Diamond King insert, and I can tell here this is that Ripken family card next that I wanted. Ripken baseball family. So there's Cal Jr., Cal Sr., and then Billy Ripken. Obviously, Billy Ripken, most known for the '89 Fleer card of his, which we did pull in our '89 Fleer video that you can see on our channel. But that is cool. Let's see what the back says here. The Ripken baseball family. As if Cal Ripken Jr. hadn't made enough baseball history. I don't even think that's a complete. As if Cal Ripken Jr. hadn't made enough baseball history all by himself. Period. That's a sentence fragment, I'm pretty sure. Not an English teacher, but there's no. That's not a complete sentence. Cool card nonetheless. And Jim Presley. So 5 packs to go here. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel where you're watching us now, would love for you to subscribe. Would love to hear your comments about our videos, or if you know any tidbits or anything about these players or cards that you'd like to let us know. Would love to hear from you. You can reach us on Twitter here at DC Ball Cards. We love the interaction from viewers. Ted Simmons, Ivan Calderon. Yeah, that's not the best. That's not the best either. Al Nipper, Mike Dunn, Mitch Webster, Richard Dotson, Harry Spillman, Dan Petrie, Tony Bernazard, Hall of Famer Harold Baines. I noticed earlier on a Chicago White Sox card, but you know it's a very bold. I don't think that was done by very many teams. At least I don't remember seeing that much with the number on the front of the pants as well. Ed Lynch, Greg Harris, Tom Neudenfuhrer, and then Ruben Sierra. There's an MVP. We just talked about him earlier with our 87 Fleer video. Okay, Jim Rice here, Hall of Famer. That's cool. That's a good picture. Jim Rice. He looks. I don't know. Looks like something's going on over there in the to the side. Mike Diaz, Neil Heaton, Ivan Calderon. That's one of those MVP cards. Dave Trevecki. I think he would go on to lose his arm to cancer. Larry Herndon, Tony Phillips, Donnie Hill, Frank DiPino, Pete Incaviglia, Cal Ripken. So I think we got his MVP card earlier. This is his base card from that set. Terry Pohl. There's Tommy John. Got his Diamond King earlier. Robbie Thompson and Willie Frazier. Alright, so we've got 3 packs to go. Still looking for the Roberto Alomar rookie. Still looking for Nolan Ryan. A few others. Alright. Jose Oquendo. George Brett. That's a good one to get here towards the end. Hall of Famer. See if his 390 year is on here. No, I don't know when that was. Must have been in the early 80s or late 70s. Jeff Sellers, Guy Hoffman, Gary Gaetti, Diamond Kings, Bo Diaz, Mark Gubicza, Brian Diet, Devin White, Terry Kennedy, Tracy Woodson, Lloyd Mosby, Bill Duran, Mickey Tettleton, and Bill Gullickson. Alright, 2 lonely packs left here. Let's see if we can get something cool in these last 2 packs. If not, we can probably find, we can get the Alomar rookie for probably $1. $1 or so somewhere. Candy Maldonado, Brian Downing, Eric Bell. There's a Paul Molitor MVP card. Third base and DH at this point. DH. Obviously, the Brewers were still in the American League back in 1988. Carl Nichols, Tim Raines, Hall of Famer we talked about earlier, Vance Law, Lester Lancaster, Johnny Ray, Robin Yount, Hall of Famer, Doug Sisk, Jeff Hamilton, Bob Dernier, and Mike Stanley. Alright, so this is going to be our last pack. Keep our fingers crossed here. We did get our Glavine, so if we don't get Alomar, at least we got Glavine. We got a second Jack McDowell. Kevin Elster, so that's 2 rated rookies. Probably not going to get a third in this pack. I think he's a rated rookie. Alomar. There's Will Clark. Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer. Another Minnesota Twins bearded pitcher. That was a thing. Rocky Childress. Ron Kittle. There's another Tom Glavine rookie. So maybe we'll just trade one of these Tom Glavine rookies for an Alomar rookie. Greg Caderet, Randy Bush, Don Carmen, Rich Gedman, George Hendrick, Larry Parrish, and Mike Heath. So all in all, that was, you know, it was definitely the junkiest of the junk wax. I would agree with at Cardboard Lifer. Not an exciting box to open by any means. 89 Fleer was more enjoyable. 87 Fleer was more enjoyable. 87 Donruss absolutely more enjoyable. But you know, it's still a box of baseball cards from the 1980s. So quite a bit of fun. I'm not going to go through all these again, but we did get our two Tom Glavine rookies along with several other good cards. Again, if you'd like to follow us on Twitter at DC Ball Cards, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please make some comments. And until next time, thanks for watching.